understand the power of duplication. I want to show you some things on this board and show you how powerful duplication is, and then come back and talk about why it's so great to have a system, because duplication only works if everybody is duplicating. If everybody isn't duplicating, duplication doesn't work. So let's talk about this. Many of you have probably heard the story of taking a cent. We call it a penny in the United States, but a cent here, right? Taking a cent and doubling it. What if you take 1 cent and double it next month to 2 cents? And then take it the next month and double it to 4 cents. You talked about that today, right? Let me talk about that a little bit. Can you shoot this board up here? I want to make sure they can see this. Okay? So let's take a cent. So let's take our first month here. We're gonna take this. We're gonna take 1 cent. What's the symbol for your dollar sign? Is this a dollar sign? Is that close enough? Okay. So 0.01. That's 1 cent, right? Can you do that? Can you come around here and get even closer to this so you get a real good picture of that? Can you see that? Okay. Okay. So here is the biggest problem in the whole business. Most people want success today. If you can work today to have success next year or 2 years from now, again, you did a great job talking about this today. If you can have the patience, if you can have the self-denial to wait and work hard today for rewards down the road, you can have bigger rewards. So let's give an example of what happens to most people. If you are a fireman here in Malaysia, I think you told me a fireman might make 30,000, 40,000 ringgit a year. Is that about right? Okay, so that's only about 30,000 is only about how much a month? That's only about 2,000 a month. Or if you're a teacher with a degree, you might make 60,000 ringgit a year. Is that correct? That would be about 5,000 a month, right? So maybe change that to 5,000. Is that correct? Or maybe less, right? You might be a lawyer and make $80,000 a year, which might be, what, $6,500, 6,500 ringgit a month, right? Or you might be a doctor and make 120,000 ringgit a year. Is that typical? Right? That would be 10,000. Let's do that. Let's start with that. Let's take 10,000 ringgit a month. Would you rather have 10,000 ringgit, or would you rather have 1 cent? What would you rather have? Well, I'd rather have 10,000 ringgit, right? Of course. So most people choose to stay in their job because they go to work and get paid today. I don't want to get an Amway because I'll work hard and I'll only get a little bit this month. Don't get an Amway because of what you're going to get this month. Get an Amway because if you stay at this month after month after month, you're going to have a very big reward down the road, right? Let's go to the second month. Here's month 2. Month 2, you're making 10,000 ringgit as a doctor still, right? Can you see that okay? Can you all see that? And if we're just doubling our cent, you're only at 2 cents. Now which one's better? Still 10,000. Who would be crazy enough to pick the 2 cent instead of the 10,000? Of course you want the 10,000. This is why people don't get it. This is why people say, well, I've been doing Amway for 2 months and I'm not even making anything. In fact, I paid money to go to this FED in Malaysia and I'm losing money. If you only measure your future 1 month at a time, you will never be successful. You have to measure your life 2 and 5 and 10 years away. When you can make decisions today, because it makes sense 2 and 5 and 10 years from today, you will be very successful. But most people can't do that. Children can't do that. Most adults can't do that. You will not be successful in this business because you are smart or because you're good looking. You'll do it because you can make wise decisions to do things today for what will happen down the road, 2 years, 5 years, and 10 years. That's slow enough for you? Okay. Let's go to month 3. Wow, you're still at 10,000. You're still making the same as a doctor, but the third time you do this, you double it. If you double it again, now we're only making 4 cents. Well, it's still stupid. Who would want to do that? I've been in Amway for 3 months and I'm not making very much money. And what money I make, I spend on the bus to go take the product to my friend. You know, when I subtract some of the things, I bought some CDs, I'm still not making much money. And so of course you would pick still just being a doctor every month. As you know what happens, this goes to 8 and it goes to 16 and it goes 0, 16 and it goes to 32. In fact, it goes a long time till you even get to 1 ringgit, just 1. It seems very foolish to do this. In fact, if you do this 20 times, finally you're going to match the 10,000. Finally, you match the same as being a doctor. Could you wait that long to have that result? Because what happens the next month? The next month, the doctor still makes 10,000 and you make double, 20,000. And then it goes to 40,000. And then it goes. When a business has the ability to duplicate, it has a power you can hardly imagine. If you can understand that it starts small, but it has the ability to duplicate, it's very powerful. A lot of people want a floor, meaning they want a minimum income. I want to make at least 2,000, or 4,000, or 6,000, or 10,000. I want a floor. I will promise you, if you want a floor, you will have a ceiling. It will stop you. If you have a business that duplicates, you start with 0. It's the smallest floor possible, but there is no ceiling. There is no limit how big that you can be. On the 30th day of doubling, on the 30th day alone, the total is 10 million ringgits. 10 million. Do you think it was worth it? Would it be worth it for you to be patient? What if it wasn't 30 months? What if it was 30 years? Do you realize what your family would have if you were wise enough, if you were patient enough, if you were mature enough to see that far down the road? Do you realize how amazing that would be? This is why this business is so great. The perfect job would not be to be a doctor or a restaurant owner or a lawyer or a trucking company owner. The perfect job would be to stick your face in a photocopy machine and press 10 and make 10 of them and send them to work. You make 10 times the income and you go live your life with your family, right? That's why this is so powerful. This is very different than what you were taught in school. This is very different than everything you've learned. And it's so hard, especially in the first months when you say, I'm working hard, but I'm not seeing results. If you understand this, here's the most important question. Does 10 million a month excite you? Yes. When should you be excited about that 10 million? Just when you hit 10 million? No. Do you know when you need to be excited? You need to be excited at day 1. When you're making a penny, you need to be this excited because you know your business has that potential. Lori and I built our business very fast. And you know why? Because every decision we said, what would a diamond do? We want to do what a diamond would do every day. We thought like a diamond from day 1. When we were only making 1 penny, we didn't think like people making 1 penny. We thought like a diamond thinks. The day you stop thinking about where you are and start thinking about like where you're going to be is the day you will start to grow a lot. Lori and I have been sold out to this business from the first day. We have been sold out that we can have huge incomes because we have no ceiling. And we were this excited way back here when we weren't making money. Most of you stop and say, where am I? What am I standing in? And if you continue to do that, you will quit, you will be frustrated, you will be bitter, and you will say Amway doesn't work. This is how Amway works. If you don't understand that, you're going to quit. If you understand this, you will be very successful. You hear people up here talk about not liking the business at first, not understanding the business at first, taking a while to get it, and then you all hear all these emeralds and diamonds say, when I finally understood it, I got excited. But do you know what they understood? This is what they finally understood. And what you saw last night, boy, you did a great job, you two from Vietnam. Thank you so much. Weren't they exciting? That was so great. I love your talk last night. Look how excited they are. Look how excited. I don't know you, but my guess is you were that excited back here. That's why they have this kind of business, because they were excited here like that. You need to get that excited. You get excited about the potential that you have. Because no matter how many years you work as a doctor or a restaurant owner or a lawyer, you're never going to have the option to duplicate yourself like that. You may have a good income now, and you may have started at a high floor, but can you duplicate yourself like that? No chance. If you have a really, really smart lawyer that wants to become your partner, you kind of duplicate yourself, but you know what he's going to do? Eventually, he'll split away and do his own thing. You know, one of the great things about Amway is we protect the line of sponsorship. So that if you sponsor me, and I get excited to build a big business, even if I build a bigger business than you, I'm still your downline. What happens if I don't like you? What happens if I don't like you at all, and you don't like me? I'm still your downline. And Amway protects the line of sponsorship. If I'm a diamond and I don't like you, I can't take my business and leave you. Amway protects the line of sponsorship. Now, if I'm brand new and I don't like you, I can quit. I can go leave for half a year, and come back, but I'm only one person. But the bigger a business builds, the more strong that business is going to be, and it belongs to you. Does that happen in a job? Or you asked me about guarantees. Are there any guarantees? Is there a guarantee you can have a job? Is there a law in Malaysia that you have a lot of employees, right? Is there a law in Malaysia that prevents you from firing somebody? No, there's no guarantee. The government, you just fire them. The government doesn't protect them. The government doesn't protect you. Monday morning, you could lose your job. Somebody go, well, I don't like Amway. I don't know if I want to do that. Wow. That's a pretty bold statement. You might not have a job Monday. That's a little bit overconfident, I think, for goodness sakes. And you talked about, even though you own a big company, you might lose a whole contract. There's no law in Malaysia that restricts your best customer from using you. He could go use your competitor next week, right? There's no guarantee. But in Amway, your people can't leave you. They're all part of it. And you made the great point. Even if the company's bad, they still use lipstick. They still clean their clothes, right? And I loved your analogy on the gas container. You made more, wasn't that great? You made more money off a sweet shot, and everybody has 2 underarms. How great is that? That was a great thought. I love it. That's why this is so great. If I could get you to understand this one thing, and you could be this excited, I want you to know in the midst of this, let me tell you what would happen. A lot of your friends won't be excited. And when your friends aren't excited, they don't say, hey, look, we're not excited, we're not ambitious, but we really hope you do well. That's not what your friends say. Maybe in Vietnam, but they don't say that in the United States. They go tell all my other friends, can you believe those stupid people, they're building Amway? I can't believe they're doing that. Oh my gosh. And so you know what you're going to say? Oh my gosh, my friends aren't positive. Oh my gosh, my family's not positive. Maybe I should quit. I want you to know, you're going to have family that's not positive. But my mom and dad weren't positive about Amway in the beginning, but they became diamonds. Now, should I listen to them, or am I glad I stayed and did what I did? Remember Lori talked about last night how we took care of her parents. Her mother was in a very bad car accident, had brain damage, almost died. We spent $1 million on extra special care to protect her brain, to keep her alive, to be able to have her have a nice life. She used to come to our house for 3 years. She was very negative about Amway. We would come to visit her. She would come to visit us. And we'd say, well, we want you to know we're building our Amway business, so we're going to be busy. She goes, oh, that's okay. I just want to see you. Well, she would come. I was in medical school all day. Lori was a dental hygienist. And so she was busy. And we'd come home at night, and her mother thought we were done with our jobs, so we'd spend time with her. But we went and showed the plan. And on the weekend, they had a function. They had a seminar, and we went to the seminar, and she got mad at it. She said, I came all this way. I flew in a long airplane flight just to come see you, and you go to those Amway meetings. She hated Amway. And I said, well, when we come to visit you, you go to that job. Don't you love me? Don't you care for me? I bought a plane ticket to come visit you, and you leave me and go to that job thing. Then she had a car accident. Her 2 sisters